We are Lou and Tina Barron. We are the proud owners of a Knysna 500 SE. We've named her VELA, and we're from Orlando, Florida, and very proud to be here.
I was an officer in a publicly traded human resources company back in the States, and we sold the company in 2012. And Tina and I decided that we wanted to go cruising on a catamaran, but as fate would have it, we had to care for a family member for about a decade, which allowed us a decade of research and shopping for catamarans. We started with the Knysna and we ended up purchasing the Knysna.
Our first sailing class we took in college together. We enjoyed it. I mean, we ended up borrowing his little monohull for a little bit. Then Lou did a little bit of moving boats, and then we started chartering and getting serious about this as our retirement. We chartered quite a bit in different places and came to love the comfort of a catamaran, and the sailing is so relaxing and enjoyable.
I was fortunate enough to volunteer and crew on several different catamarans and doing ocean crossings, which gave you a great perspective on what factors to emphasize in the purchase decision. First and foremost in our decision was, if we were going to cross oceans, was to have a safe vessel that was very well built and has a long history of quality construction, and that's sort of what we found with the Knysna. The key point is that we bought it with the intent of living aboard. There's so many of the boats now, the trends and the fads tend to be lighter and faster and less emphasis on comfort, and a lot of these boats I think are more situated for a weekend regatta type boat versus the comfort level to be a long-term live-aboard cruiser. And having shopped for roughly 10 years prior to making the purchase decision, we had the privilege of watching the resale value of the Knysna. At the end of the day, it's a very big investment to buy a yacht this size, and I think the market tells the truth, and the resale value of the Knysna is spectacular compared to the other yachts that are out there. When we first saw it, it had that sleek look of a Ferrari, Lamborghini, sports car look, and just is a very unique. It stood out from the other catamarans, and I think that's what initially draws us to it, and
held our attention.
Yeah, it held our attention, but I think more importantly, then once we delved into it a little bit, the SE model, the 500 with the walk around to give very safe and efficient access to the dinghy was attractive. The larger canopy and shade area was quite attractive. And the comfort that we found, just the ergonomics of every seat and the way it's thought out.
I'm also really happy with the storage. I think for a boat this size, storage can be an issue, and especially if you're living aboard with everything. So I'm finding that there's a lot of nooks and crannies. Even when we toured the boat, we didn't realize we're here, and deep pockets within lockers that was kind of a nice surprise. But I agree with Lou. The best feature, I think, is the level of comfort. We've had guests already, and everybody's said that they've slept better on board than in their own homes, which is a really a compliment to just the amount of work that's put into making the boat a luxury. We've had some weather since we've been here. I think there's 40 knot gusts. The boat handled it well, and we didn't even really feel much motion. So we're very, very happy with the comfort level.
I think the living space is very well thought out in the Knysna, and it is designed to live on, and which is the big difference in my perspective from a lot of the other builders. The team at Knysna Yacht Company has taken every one of our requests and turned them into a reality.
We've not been surprised by anything.
No.
I think that's a pleasant thing. We're happy about the finish.
Yeah, that says a lot. So our expectations were met, exceeded, and there's no surprises to the negative side. The style and the construction is tried and proven, and I think that's where people get in trouble, is when it's rapidly changing, and there's a risk with a new product. This is a very proven product.
We do have some exciting plans.
Yeah, so we're going through the commissioning process now, and as soon as we're comfortable, we'll be heading out of the heads and leaving the Knysna Lagoon. And our goal is to go up to Richards Bay, check out of South Africa, from there hit Mozambique, Madagascar, and the Seychelles. And quite excited to spend some time fishing and sailing the Seychelles.
We do love to fish, and so we have one forepeak that's got a lot of fishing equipment that we're excited to try out once we get to the Seychelles and on the way to the Seychelles, because we've heard the fishing there is amazing. So we intend to spend a little time in the Seychelles, and we're not on any kind of schedule. That's a great thing about retirement.
When we began the shopping process for the catamaran, it was with the intention of living aboard full time. And so it was very important to us to get a blue water capable catamaran that would allow us to cross oceans and the freedom to go wherever our dreams took us.
And we've had a little bit of discussion about what's next after the Indian Ocean. One of us wants to circumnavigate, the other one wants to go back to the Med after the Caribbean. So that's an ongoing, I wouldn't say debate, but we haven't really planned it. But yeah, and we feel confident that the boat can take us wherever we want to go.
We found working with Knysna to be extremely easy. It's a collaborative process. There's a lot of freedom that comes and choices that comes with using a boutique builder like Knysna Yacht Company. The team at Knysna Yacht Company was very accommodating and patient. They worked through endless hours of picking every fabric, every color for every, from the enclosure to the settee to the headboards to the ceiling cladding. Hundreds of hours probably spent accommodating those decisions. We found when we visited the factory, the passion of the employees is what drove the quality of the product.
And then the factory crew was so welcoming. Each time we were there, they were all very attentive to our feedback, and we really enjoyed watching the boat progress from the beginning to the end.
If I was to give somebody advice on the purchase process of a cruising catamaran, is to really reflect on, is this a project that I could live on? Every boat's fun for 3-hour test ride, but really look at the ergonomics of the seats, the beds, everything. The shower, is there room? Can I live like this, or is it just camping that would be adequate for a weekend? And that's what led us to the Knysna, is the comfort level for a long-term live-aboard catamaran.
I agree. I think that some of the production boats are shipped out of their production headquarters rather than sailed out of where they're built. And that's kind of telling to me, in that if you have to ship your boat over the ocean because you don't feel confident that it can sail there, then maybe that's not the right purchase if you plan to cross an ocean. So the Knysna really has proven itself to be safe and comfortable, and we have been on a lot of catamarans, and it's interesting to me, some of the showers I couldn't get into. I can't imagine a tall man trying to shower and do that, open doors and take a look at the cabins and go on test sails. And if you can charter that particular catamaran and get a feel for what it's like on an ocean, even better.